What would I tell my 20-something-year-old self? I'd say don't be afraid to be vulnerable and your authentic self in front of an audience. I fell in love with the notion of what it would be like to escape this world that we're in. If I could do something like that, could I live in a tree for a really long time? Would I have that kind of fortitude? Would I have that advocacy to embrace this world that is being depleted all of the time? That idea led me to my love for the Redwoods and their way of being a metaphor for who we are as human beings, their resilience, their way of sustaining one another as a community. I think Tina and I really felt that that was something we wanted to depict in a show, and I'm very proud of it. We have this amazing vertical dance troupe called Bandaloop that are teaching us to climb and that are our choreographers. And so I've been out to Oakland several times to learn how to climb a tree, a redwood, and also to dance on one, to swing and sing, as I like to say. It's been exhilarating, and I can't wait for people to see how it's incorporated into our show. It's this incredible, immersive, transportive show on this large scale with video, audiovisual art, while also being able to kind of zone in, focus in on a very intimate, personal story. What would I tell my 20-something-year-old self? I'd say, good job. I'd say don't be afraid to be vulnerable and your authentic self in front of an audience, because that's the way that you can most move and change an audience.
It's been incredible. Yeah, every song for her character I write very specifically for Idina's voice, which is such an honor. My process has basically been, I knew her voice, of course, but just listening to everything that she's ever done. She has such a huge range, but finding different pockets within that, and she's always super open to try whatever. So I think in this show you get to hear a lot of different sides of her, whether it's like her big notes that everyone, knows and loves, or her kind of more heartwarming, lower tones. So it's been really fun to explore. One of the only shows I saw as a kid was Wicked. I'm from Chicago, so I saw the touring version of it, and I didn't see her in that, but I got the soundtrack. And so I remember being blown away by that. And then, grew up knowing Frozen and all of that. So it's been really cool to hear her voice in person. Is pretty crazy.
I've known Idina for a long time. We've become closer and closer as we've worked on the show. And I've really engaged her and vice versa in every aspect of its creation, from the conception of it to the writing to things that we're doing today in rehearsal, where we're like, what do you think of that? I don't know. Should we change that line? I don't know. It's been very simpatico, very tight. And she is a brilliant, open, fun collaborator. That's been one of the biggest gifts of Redwood, is that I've gotten to write it for Idina. And I hope we are highlighting and showing off everything everyone knows about her, why she's so amazing and special, and also revealing some things people might not know or might not have seen before. For me, it's been a gift to just be like, keep that in mind, reveal and exhibit and expose and delight in the Idina that I know, that I want the world to know. I don't know how this will stand up or not to those iconic roles she has done. We have our nose to the grindstone. We're telling the truest story we can with the material we have. And my guess is that's what they did when Marine was created or when Elphaba was created. No one ever sets out with the idea of, I'm going to create an iconic role. But if you stay true to yourself, follow the bliss of the piece, hopefully something will emerge that will be accessible and memorable.
Redwood is about our ability to be resilient and learn to live again, even when we're up against so much adversity, and even when we feel like the world is so heavy on our shoulders. The lessons of the show and the Redwoods themselves, being survivors, are sort of being taught to my son through osmosis.